In this unit here, we're continuing our study on the Gospel of Matthew. We find ourselves at Matthew chapter 8, verse 27. And I'm going to be reading out of the original King James Version. But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Now, I do not know about you, but eating a fresh piece of fruit is a wonderful thing. But that has to be qualified. It is a wonderful thing if that piece of fruit is ripe. I can remember years ago biting into a peach and anticipating the experience of what eating a fresh, ripe peach is like. This was late winter or early spring, and the piece of fruit was from the previous year's harvest. So it'd been picked to be put in long-term storage. To understand how traumatized I was by that piece of fruit, know that this event happened some 3 decades ago. I bit into that peach and it was dry and gave me the experience of eating a bowl of sawdust. I love ripe pears also, but where I am, you usually do not get ripe pears in the grocery store. You get green pears that are rock hard. If you try to eat one, it will be a very, very unpleasant experience. Eating fresh fruit can be a wonderful thing, but only if the fruit is ready to be eaten. In evangelical churches, we stress the need for people to believe in Jesus. We push people to make decisions for Jesus. There is a problem with our methodology at times, for we are trying to pick fruit at the wrong time. Fruit is best enjoyed fresh and juicy. In essence, fruit that is not fresh and juicy is not really fruit. Now, you can argue with me that it's still a pear, even if it's rock hard and green. Yes, it's still a pear, but most of us would say it's not what we expect a pear to be like. A peach that is rock hard and bone dry is still a peach, but a peach for most of us is one that when you bite into it, it begins to drip down you. It becomes a very messy experience. The problem in the church is we claim that people have come to believe in Jesus while they are still green pears. We need fruit that is fresh and ripe. Now look at our verse that we have selected here. Did these people believe in Jesus? Yes, they did, for he was in the boat with them. How could they not believe in Jesus? They knew that Jesus was real. Yet, did they actually believe in Jesus? The answer is no, 1,000 times no. They did not believe in Jesus. Yes, they knew he was a living, sapient being. They knew him to be a good teacher. They knew him as one who could heal people. Did they actually believe in Jesus? Look at their question. They thought they knew him, and all of a sudden they realized they had no clue at all who they were dealing with. In fact, it would take parts of maybe 3 years for them to begin to understand who Jesus was. And at the end of it, only a handful of people came to see who Jesus was. And it would take going through the experience of the cross and the heartache and crushing defeatism of that event, followed up by the resurrection, before they would begin to understand who he was. If it took time for those who were physically present with Jesus to understand who he was, why is it that we as evangelicals continue to believe that people can believe Jesus just like that? In my years, I've been in churches and Christian circles where there were far too many green pears and wizened peaches. I think we do people in the church a disservice when we do not allow the fruit to ripen. You see, it is not whether people believe in Jesus. It is whether the Jesus they are believing in is worth believing in. We need a time to allow people to ripen. We need people to grow in understanding of who Jesus is before we push them to claim that they believe in Jesus. Then we need people who believe in Jesus to grow in that knowledge and understanding. If we can get this, maybe the church would be more fruitful.